A fucking lawyer? Really? A fucking lawyer. Jesus Christ. It's like, Bully Ray's like, I'm a bad man. I'm Bully Ray. I'll beat you up. And as soon as he loses his title, first thing he's like, well, here's my attorney. Really? Really? You need to bring in your fucking attorney? You can't just, I don't know, run into the ring and beat the shit out of Chris Sabin? I mean, you're twice his size and probably 3 times his weight, so. But you know what? Whatever. That was last week. I didn't see last week's. So I'm just gonna start on this week's Impact review. I missed last week's review. I didn't see it. I had other plans. However, I did manage to catch this week's Impact review, so let's get started. A quick warning. I will be pausing every once in a while to take a drink of water, because one excellent way to kill your vocal cords is to have no humidity. And my room has a window unit which constantly pushes out dry air, so yeah. Alright, let's get started. TNA Impact review for August 1st, 2013. Impact starts off with Taz not being allowed into the building by Hulk Hogan. Don't know what's up with that. I didn't know who they were going to get for commentary then, but they got that other guy. I don't know who that other guy is, but I had him already. Okay. Today we get the results of the fan-picked matches, because like a week or two ago, TNA announced that they would let you pick the card for the next round of the Bound for Glory series. And I chose card number 3, the card with Hernandez versus Hardy, because that sounds like an interesting matchup to me. Okay, that's something I've never seen before. But since I am just starting watching Impact, I guess I haven't seen a lot of things before. But instead, everyone chose AJ Styles versus Austin Aries. We get the August 1 tape, and I've heard about this on the web. To be honest, I don't really care. You know, they're trying to hype up something. They're not doing it very well. So I just don't give a shit. Anyway, opening segment is that Austin Aries comes out into the ring. He promises to win the Bound for Glory series. And I couldn't tell if Austin Aries was a face or a heel, but people are cheering for him, so I'm just going to assume he's a face. Then Bobby Roode comes out. And when Bobby Roode came out, I noticed a certain problem with most of Impact's entrance music. It doesn't sound very well mixed, and not only that, it sounds too generic. Like they need a very specific opening stinger in order for me to identify who's coming out, because otherwise it's just very loud guitar riffs, and everyone, like, I swear to God, almost every wrestler has very loud guitar riffs in their entrance music, so I can't tell who's what, who's coming out to who. I don't know whose entrance music is anything, because with the other guys you can tell, it's distinguishable, but this time I'm having a real problem with it. Anyway, Bobby Roode says that he's had a crap year and he wants his title back. So now he's going to go back to being the way he was, which really doesn't mean much except for the fact that he's going super heel now, that he's going to cheat at every little opportunity, which proves itself in the next Bound for Glory series match, Bobby Roode versus Hernandez. And this was a pretty alright match, not too bad, but Bobby Roode ends up winning, plus 7 points for him, with a bottle over the head. And you can see where the ref, he looks down on the ground, he sees all these little bits, he's like, what the fuck? But I guess he just cuts to doing his job and just pins Hernandez 1, 2, 3. So, plus 7 for Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode goes out from 0 points to 7. Good for him. Afterwards, we get a backstage segment with the Main Event Mafia about the August 1st tapes, and I don't know, I don't care, so I'm just going to skip that. And yeah, I noticed that the commentary kind of sucks without Taz, because I like Taz, I know sometimes he can just go off topic, but he's always just off topic for a couple seconds, and then he tries to focus on the match, These guys, without Taz, they just talk about August 1st, like, do you not realize that there's a match going on? Can you commentate on the fucking match? But no, they keep fucking pushing August 1, August 1, August 1. I don't give a crap. Jeez, I might as well, if I wanted commentary to not talk about the match that's happening right on television, I don't know, I'll just watch WWE. Because WWE, no matter what fucking match is happening, they're always going to be talking about John Cena. Fucker. Anyway, then we got backstage segments with ODB and Eric Young and Joseph Park. ODB's excited to be back as a wrestler and not as a ref. I thought that was weird, but it's good to see her back as a wrestler. Eric Young says he's going to help out Joseph Park with his troubles in the Bound for Glory series because Joseph Park is minus 10 points. So he decides he's going to give him something to stop him from going all cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Anyway, we have another backstage segment with Sabin and Manic. Sabin says that he respects Manic and he wants him to be at his best. And Manic says he's going to, this face, the face of his mask, is going to be the new face of the X Division title. So I guess that means he's not going to cash in his X Division title anytime soon. No option C for him. And to be honest, that's what I do. I like the X Division. And for that matter, I like the new X Division title. I know a lot of people have been giving shit about it, but you know what? Whatever. I'm used to being on the losing team, right? I like the new X Division title. And it just goes to reinforce my previous statement that Impact Wrestling has some of the best looking championship titles in the wrestling business. I mean, that World Heavyweight title still looks damn good, especially compared to all the other ones. Okay, next match is a Bound for Glory series match. Jay Bradley versus Joseph Park. And I like Joseph Park. I think it's a very funny character and it's very well acted. Don't like Jay Bradley though. He's that guy where the first time I watched Impact, I told you, saw his match, saw his entrance, couldn't remember his name. The only thing I learned what his name was his finisher because they kept so fucking saying it all the damn time. Boomstick, boomstick, boomstick. Yeah, I got it. He calls his clothesline a boomstick. Whatever. Now, if he does a fucking Kenta Kobashi burning lariat, then, we'll think about it. Alrighty then, let's continue. Backstage. Oh, I'm sorry. I almost skipped the match. Anyway, it turns out that Eric Young is giving Joseph Park some headgear, some regulated headgear, so that he doesn't, bust open, see blood, and go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So, however, it doesn't really do him much since Jay Bradley just fucking rips off the damn thing anyway. But it's funny because when the match opened and Joseph Park had the headgear on, Jay Bradley got him and started beating his head over the turnbuckle, but Joseph Park just got up and was like smiling because he didn't feel anything because of the headgear. So I just kept thinking, isn't that cheating? Shouldn't the ref make him take it off? But whatever. I guess since it's regulated or whatever, but anyway, he took it off, so I guess it did nothing, so that was pointless. And Joseph Park wins via Samoan drop. Plus 7 points for Joseph Park in the Bound for Glory series, which makes him minus 3. Still in last place, but better than when he was a few hours ago. Another backstage segment with the main event Mafia. I'm sorry I didn't catch most of this, but it had something to do with Rampage Jackson, so whatevs. Up next, we get the champion versus champion match. Matic versus Chris Sabin. And this was, to me, this was a really, this was a good match. I mean, it had a few hiccups, and a few hiccups here and there. Like, for example, I think Chris Sabin went for like a running big boot or something, and it didn't hit Matic in the head. It like went past his head, like almost hitting his shoulder, and Matic still sold it like it hit him in the face. And just a few hiccups like that, but it was still pretty good. And these guys pulled off some great cruiserweight moves, and it just kept reminding me of something else I said. If TNA highlights the X Division, they could use it as a definite feature over WWE, because Vince McMahon doesn't like cruiserweight baby faces, But we got a lot of great guys here in the X Division, and people like that high-flying stuff. There's an audience for that. It's basically what I'm saying. So I think if you want to see high-flying X Division stuff, watch Impact. In the end, Chris Sabin wins via Hail Sabin, his finish, and that happened. Afterwards, Bully Ray comes in and tries to attack Chris Sabin. Manic tries to fight him off, doesn't do that good of a job, but Sabin eventually just chases him off. After commercial, I guess when it was going to commercial, Taz is still upset. He's backstage. He's not backstage. He's outside the arena, and he's pissed off that Hulk Hogan is making him wait outside. He can't even get in talking to aces and eights. So wait, if Hogan has the power to keep Taz out of the arena, and he's been a legit employee for years now, why doesn't he just do that for the rest of aces and eights? Seriously, this problem could have been over basically 15 minutes after they debuted. He could have just told security, hey, blacklist all those guys and make sure they never come into any Impact show or anywhere close to an arena where Impact is showing. Problem solved. But whatever, plot hole aside, Taz wants to expose this bullshit August 1 thing, so he goes to the big white Hummer limo or whatever, opens the door, and it's just a laptop with the August 1 video playing, which you can't even fucking hear because it's outside, idiots, and the speakers aren't that loud for the damn laptop. So I thought that was bullshit. Afterwards, we get a backstage segment with Bad Influence, and they're talking about how, Christopher Daniels has some points, but Kazarian doesn't. He's going to say, oh, poor Frankie Kazarian. And Kazarian's like, don't do this. Don't do that poor Frankie thing, all right? He's like, dude, I know, but you have no points. Yeah, but I'm going to get points. And then we're going to fight each other. And I'm going to win. And I was pissed. I was like, please don't do this. I just started watching these guys. Don't break them up as soon as it's like coming in late to the Team Hell No party. Don't do this. Come on. Am I gonna have to go through YouTube to catch all the best moments of Bad Influence because they're already breaking up now? And that's because I heard that they put out a new T-shirt. Come on, guys, please don't break up. I just started watching. You guys are hilarious. Don't do this to me. Afterwards, we get the Knockouts match with Gail Kim versus ODB. Now, I didn't watch last week's Impact, but the commentary was kind enough to inform me that last week, during Gail Kim's title match against Mickie James, she was having some problems with ODB, and ODB retaliated, and that's what made them fire ODB as a referee and rehire her as a wrestler. Now, I like this Knockouts match, because it wasn't 30 seconds long, it didn't end in a roll-up, and they actually did some wrestling. They actually hit each other a couple times and took a few bumps. It wasn't a great match, but it was a lot better than the other guys. However, what did upset me was the finish, because it ends by a draw via double countout, which means this feud is just starting. That is understandable, but, my brother likes definite finishes. There has to be a winner and a loser, not a draw. Afterwards, we get a backstage segment with AJ Styles. He's calling BS on the freaking dream match of Styles versus Aries. He's calling BS on heroes, BS on dreams. Says it's all bullshit. That the only thing being champion is good for is the money and the security that comes with it. And to be honest, I'm really enjoying the disillusioned angle of AJ Styles' character. And I gotta say, AJ Styles, one of those guys, man, as soon as I start watching Impact, I'm like, I don't know anything about these guys. I just turn it on and start watching, boom. AJ Styles was just instantly over for me. I know. It's like watching, you heard a guy's good, but you don't know how good, and then you watch, and then you see, this is what people are talking about. And even more so for Austin motherfucking Aries. Jesus Christ. Main event. Fan-picked Bound for Glory Series main event. AJ Styles versus Austin Aries. And damn, this was an exciting match to me. This was a lot of cool spots. And it was just wicked cool. This is the kind of wrestling you can only see on Impact. Both these guys are really good. Like, the rumors that you heard about them being that good, yes, they are that good. Especially Austin motherfucking Aries. He is the greatest man who ever lived. Because this was a good match. It was a good, solid match. Nice spots. And an odd kind of finish. Because they both kind of knocked each other out. And Aries, I guess by coincidence, just happened to have his arm draped over Styles. So the ref counted 1, 2, 3. And Aries wins. So, I guess it was by pinfall, or was it that... Yeah, I didn't understand that. Was it by pinfall, or was it that Austin Aries got up first? So, I don't know exactly how many points that gives Aries, because they didn't say it on the commentary. But that was an exciting main event. I'm glad I saw it. And the closing segment, Main Event Mafia comes in and says, we're going to give the Aces and Eights an offer they can't refuse. Yeah, that was a sucky impression, I know, but I don't do impressions, whatever. So they say they're going to have a 5 versus 5 match at Hardcore Justice. Whoever loses in that match has to leave permanently. And I don't know how they're going to do that. But before they could officially accept or whatever, the August 1 guy shows up. And it turns out to be that guy from MMA, Tito Ortiz. Why? Like, is this what Impact is spending all their money on? MMA guys? Because I think I'd rather see another wrestler in my wrestling show. And I know they're working with Spike TV, who does a lot of MMA stuff. And right now, UFC is what everyone's getting their nipples all hard about. So I guess it's a good marketing decision to have a couple MMA guys there. But I don't know. To me, it doesn't really make sense. I mean, why are you going to get a guy whose job is basically cage fighting? You get an MMA guy. His job is to cage fight. And you're going to put him with professional wrestlers. And their job is not only to wrestle, but to also do interviews, cut promos, and generally try to be entertaining. Okay, MMA guys don't give a shit about being entertaining. So, how are they going to work in my entertainment show? I don't get that. I guess we're supposed to let other people cut their promos for them. But if that's the problem I have with MMA, is that I just don't care. There's no emotional attachment for me. There's no dramatic hook. You know? It's just some guy I don't know or give a shit about trying to beat the crap of another guy I don't know or give a shit about. So why the fuck bother? Their championships don't have any meaning to me. They don't have any significant meaning to me personally, so I don't care that they're fighting for a title. So we got Rampage Jackson and Tito Ortiz, a couple of MMA dudes in Impact Wrestling. Guess I'm just going to have to put up with that and see how that goes. And that was Impact for August 1st. Overall, I liked it. It was a very nice, very good wrestling show. You know? And I'm still a little disappointed that I didn't get to see the tag champs, Gunner and Storm, or Jeff Hardy. So that makes me think, if Impact had more time, if Impact had 3 hours instead of 2, if Impact had the time Raw had, we'd probably get more things done and we'd be able to see everyone. Hell, we may even be able to have longer, better matches. Well, not necessarily better, but longer matches. And it's just, I don't know, that's just how I feel about it. Like, if anyone deserves to have 3 hours, it's Impact, because Impact, it's just a 2-hour show and it only shows once a week. WWE, they got like fucking 4 shows a week. So fairness in that. But you know what? Whatever. Things are the way they are. This was a good show. I liked it. I'll see you next time.